Before studying IR, I was not quite aware about how the whole society, economy, and state works, so I became more aware about the individual participation in politics, contribution in economics, and how we can make difference into the society.
The new perspectives that I learned while studying at TAU are that learning together with international students helped me to understand that being different is totally fine, and also helped me to view my own culture and nation and people from a different viewpoint.
After studying international relations, specifically at CIU, I understand that we all could have very different perspectives, especially I've been in classes with people from all over the world, and it allowed me to understand that we all can have very different opinions, and that's just because we all come from different countries, different cultures, and we all grew up in different environments. And I think that's really amazing, and I think if I stayed back in my home country, I wouldn't be able to understand those kind of things.
Prior to coming to TIU, I only wanted to become a diplomat in the future. However, our professor also gave us different suggestions of how we should do, what we should do after we graduate from TIU. In addition to my original plan to be a diplomat, now I have 3 different career choices. To be a journalist, study a master's, or to be a consultant in the future.
Initially, I didn't have any specific future goal, but now that I've studied IR and CIU, I became more sure about what I wanted to do in the future, possibly work for a non-governmental organization or maybe government back in my home country, or maybe even a diplomat, right?
In order to pursue my future career, studying international relations in depth is particularly important, and for that very reason, I decided to continue my studies in a graduate school.
I'd say if I managed to somehow make a career out of IR and work as a diplomat, or maybe in a non-government organization, or even for my own government back in my home country, I can apply my understanding of how people from different countries and different cultures, they all have very different understanding of the world, and they all have very different opinions. And I think that if I work for government or non-governmental organizations, or probably make policies, that will be very useful for me in the future.
The skills which I have learned are analytical thinking, critical skills, and also researching skills, which is helpful in my future profession.
The tools and skills that I learned while studying international relations at the university are analytical thinking that we were taught at the first year of school, as well as expressing our ideas and opinions about events and issues that might be quite controversial.
For people who are considering taking IR, it's going to be a difficult subject if you're not going to be open-minded, because international relations deals with the way countries interact with one another. It's like human interaction, but on a larger scale. If you want to understand it better, you need to keep an open mind and be patient. So those are the 2 things I would recommend.
To the students who are interested in studying IR, I would say that IR is quite challenging, but with the help of mentors, faculty members, professors, and also friends that you're going to make while studying at the university, it will become quite easy and interesting eventually.
In my country, people think that doctor and engineer are the only profession through which you can serve the country, but no one really knows about politics or diplomacy, which the country needs the most. So after studying IR, I felt that it's my responsibility to go into the field which my country needs the most.
I would say that I especially recommend studying IR in Tokyo International University because as I mentioned before, only in Tokyo International University you can study IR in a specifically international environment. And not just students from all over the world, but also teachers from all over the world that can really open your perspective. So again, I really recommend studying IR at CIU.